Alrighty, folks, and welcome to this special Monday edition of the Whitfield Report. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, joined here by my good friend Jimmy, aka Hodjum, on, well, where aren't you banned now?
Parler and Facebook, but who the fuck goes on Facebook? The only reason I have an account on Facebook is so I can use Messenger. Sometimes I'll go on there and it's just the worst. It's the worst. Yeah, but I mean, it's like a trophy every time. Oh, just tick the box, you know? Because why? Because I'm not vehemently left wing. Okay, sorry.
All I use Facebook for now is just to check up on, family and
yeah. It's good for that because most family are boomers and they don't get it anyway, you know.
Right, but people who people from high school who want to start political debates with me on Facebook, I'm like you fuckers know I have a podcast, right?
I've been in a few of those.
You can just
and they never end well.
Yeah, no. So a lot has happened since the last time you were on. The last time you were on here, I don't think Corona had even fucking happened.
No, I think the last time I was on was early November.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good God. So happy, New Year. Happy
Christmas. Happy Corona. Happy quarantine. Happy Kwanzaa. I don't know whether that's happened yet. I'm not Jewish, so I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, shit's gone down. I think since the last time we spoke, China won the Third World War without firing a shot. I think that's something to be. So well done, China. And we're using Zoom right now, so they win. They've won. Maybe you were right. Last time we used Skype. Now we're using Zoom. So China have won the game of life.
Yeah, well, that's because Skype can't record, audio or video worth a shit anymore. No. And apparently neither can Discord, which
don't mention the D word. I'm still trying to recover.
Well, but that's what people are tuning in here for. So for those of you who don't know, Jimmy and I were part of the Gavin McInnes Discord, and I know that half my audience fucking hates Gavin for I don't know why. They think he's like a grifter or something, but I mean I still like Gavin somewhat, even though he just makes fun of me endlessly. But suffice it to say, I think the bigger aspect of the Discord was that we were a fucking community. We were a fucking family, as Tony Soprano might say.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, for real though. It sounds ridiculous to a lot of people that sort of are on the outside of it. You think, oh well, what can a bunch of people who love Gavin McInnes? How is that interesting? Like I said in that video, I addressed it. It goes beyond Gavin McInnes. The only thing it really has to do with Gavin is that we do the call-ins on a Thursday. which we'd only been doing for, I don't know, 2 months now. The server had been going much longer than that, almost a year.
Yeah.
As of the 4th of July, but we couldn't make it that far, obviously, because we got banned on Thursday. But it goes way beyond that. Gavin was just the catalyst that brought everyone together, and then people sort of get roped up. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, roped up in it. And I will say the amount of shit and drama, and this is not me saying that Discord is a bad thing, but what I'm trying to say is that it really is a community, because people either come to you as an admin or the owner, in my case, and say, look, this person said this and that person said that. It's like being a teacher in high school.
Yeah.
It's bizarre, but you would do it because you genuinely start to care about these people until they stab you in the back.
Well,
story.
It was kind of weird though too, because like when I joined, we were like 100 people maybe, and
probably less.
And then eventually we were up at like 2,100 people in there.
2,500.
Yeah, so to be fair to you, when you're trying to deal with that many, and granted we had other mods and whatnot, but I mean there were like what 5-6 mods to deal with like 2,000 people.
It's a bit disingenuous to say 2,500, because obviously that was the total member count, but there was probably about 600 people who had passed vetting.
Yeah.
So, and then it boils down even further, because out of those 600, maybe only 250 were active, And out of those 250, maybe only 100 were like really, really active and involved. But that's still a lot of people. They say that no one can withhold or sustain more than like 75 individual friendships in at once.
Yeah.
So.
But what I find interesting is the fact that like the Discord was, pretty much humming along, and like we had some issues with some questionable characters, but those got dealt with pretty swiftly. And
I don't know whether swiftly is the right word. I mean, when push came to shove, it was swift, but I mean, the olive branch was extended.
Well, yeah,
numerous times. I mean,
point being though, what I'm trying to say though is, at least to me, it seems like we were quote unquote following all the Discord terms of service, and yet,
well, we certainly tried to do that. And I mean, a lot of people, they say, well, Gavin's all about freedom of speech, and you're suppressing my freedom of speech. And it's like, yeah, I get that. And I don't want to be the person to suppress your God-given right of freedom of speech. But this is not, it's not really a public forum, is it? The left-wing platforms and Twitter, every time someone gets banned, they always use the excuse that, oh, well, they're a private platform. They can do what they want. And Discord is partly owned by Tencent, which is a Chinese multinational company. China's in their pocket. And Gavin got banned from YouTube like 2 days before. So that's right. So it's like, yeah, you can say, well, because I said, I don't know, are we allowed to say the N-word?
You will.
Yeah, so people say, oh, well, I just wanted to say nigger as a joke, and it's like, yeah, haha, hilarious. I get the joke, but the fat frumpy feminist that works at Discord HQ, all she needs to do is type in the N-word in a search bar, see how many times it's been said, whether it's a joke or not. These people don't give a shit about context. That's what you need to understand, is context does not matter. If context matters, then we wouldn't be in a culture war right now, because people would understand. If context mattered, people wouldn't be have their jobs taken away from them. They wouldn't be fired for something they said 25 years ago if context mattered. Context has not mattered for years now, and that's the way they like it. So you have to be kind of censorious. And I know it's ironic because Gavin's website is censored.tv, but we're using Discord, or we're using this platform, and it's owned by people that don't want Gavin to exist in the first place. So you have to have some kind of boundary. And we said it, and I feel like we said it pretty leniently. But I mean, just by name association alone, just by being even remotely associated with Gavin McInnes, who's always going to put a target on our back. So I mean, this was going to come sooner or later.
It's also weird though, because I mean, not really. It's not really weird, but it's also, I guess, interesting because, like, yeah, obviously Gavin McInnes' name was in the server, but 90% of the stuff that we talked about wasn't even related to.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It goes way beyond him.
Yeah.
He's just the person who we all like. That's like I said, he's the catalyst of what brought us together. But no, we never talk about Gavin.
I mean, Ryan. I mean, if anything, we make fun of Gavin more than anything.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't a temple of praise to Gavin McInnes. It came about because the Gavin McInnes subreddit, and someone said, "Oh, well, this is a good community. We should have a Discord." And it's like, well, what else are you going to call it? It spawned from the subreddit. So, and
hasn't the subreddit been banned too, or
the subreddit got banned? I don't know, maybe 2 months ago now. Yeah.
Or yeah, so it's...
they said, Reddit said because it promoted violence, which it just didn't. I mean, the subreddit was like the Discord. It was benign, the things that people talked about. It wasn't there was no call to arms or anything like that. And they sent me that email. Discord sent me that email saying that, I personally incited violence and all this other shit. Anyone that knows me knows that I never did anything of the sort. Like, that's complete horseshit. And they don't give any explanation either. It's you did this, you did that. They basically, every single TOS you could possibly break, I broke it by enforcing their TOS. It's horseshit, and it's clear to everyone who knows what's going on is that it's not about anything that I did or what the server did or the people in the server. It's just because it's linked to this one person. And it's an election year, and they don't want Trump to win the election. And we're all Trump supporters, or pretty much 90% of us are Trump supporters. So that's the way it goes. You go, nope, that's got to go. It's got to be shut down.
Yeah, well, I mean, and YouTube isn't really good at, I mean, granted, this podcast is going to be on YouTube once it's released, but YouTube has done some really weird shit too, where like they took down like one of my old videos from 2 years ago recently because it was a video where I was critical of Richard Spencer, and yet they took it down because it had Richard Spencer in it, and therefore I was promoting like neo-Nazi.
So that's what I mean about context, right? That's what I just said about context. So you're going in on Richard Spencer saying that you disagree with him, but just because the name Richard Spencer is in the title of the video, that's justification for them to take it down, which is exactly why we sort of banned the N-word eventually from the server, because they don't care about the joke behind it or the context or why it might be funny, or you're ridiculing people that actually use the N-word in a serious manner. They don't care about that. All they need to do is type in the word nigger, see 200 results, and go, wow, that's way too many. I'm not going to read the context behind those, because who gives a fuck about context? We're a left-wing platform. There we go. I can say in my report why I deleted that server, screenshot that there's 200 N-word listings, and that's job done. Context doesn't matter. So anyone that says to me, "Oh, you're being censorious, my free speech," you're on the fucking internet. It's owned by people who hate freedom of speech. Look what's happened to Reddit. Look what's happened to Discord. Look what happened to Facebook, Twitter, the rest of it. That's why Parler is number one on social media on the App Store right now. Is because you can't have freedom of speech.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think I can go to Discord and go, "Oh, no, can you reinstate the server because Gavin's whole shtick is freedom of speech?" And they're going to go, oh, sorry, we didn't know he was a big freedom speech advocate. Yeah, have your server back. Complete bullshit. Anyone that says, oh, that we were censorious, the reason we were censorious is the reason the server lasted as long as it did.
Yeah. Well, no, and I was surprised, honestly, that we didn't get kicked, earlier than when we did. I'm not saying we should have been, but we kind of did make it a long time. But once that Black Lives Matter, message popped,
that was the writing on the wall. Yeah.
I even messaged you. I'm like, well,
we lost the donate bot a week before.
Yeah.
Whether that was because of bad actors who used to be on the server that mass report, we don't know. And to be honest, I don't give a shit anymore. I don't care who it was. It was going to happen eventually. Like the whole thing was going to go eventually. I mean, is 12 months a long time? I don't know. Is it? I mean, in clown world, probably not. But you'd expect, and we disassociated ourselves from the Proud Boys. We always said, yeah, if you're a Proud Boy, obviously you can join and stuff, but we're not a Proud Boy server. We never were. We'd always said that from the start. We're not interested in recruiting for the Proud Boys or organizing for the Proud Boys, anything like that. And it never became a Proud Boys thing. And even the Proud Boys that came in that we spoke to said, yeah, we totally get it. They understand. But certain edgelords who want to say nigger and kike all day could not understand that.
And then it's also a bunch of these America First, Nick Fuentes.
Oh, the gripers,
and obviously, I mean, you and I have talked. I fucking hate Nick Fuentes. I'm not a fan of that kid whatsoever. But like, even if he were to get censored, or something, like, I wouldn't be having.
He will eventually.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I think, one of the Groypers recently got involved in like one of these hate crime hoax things. So, but yeah, the other criticism I get a lot is, oh well, if Discord is so bad, then why don't you just make your own server? And it's like, well, okay, where are we going to get the technical? Like, I know we have a few
kind of missing the point. It's kind of missing the point. It's like saying, well, it's like saying to this might be a little bit of a stretch, but it'd be like saying to the Polish in 1939, well, if being ruled by the Germans is so bad, why don't you just find your own land? Why don't you just move on to somewhere else? It's like, that's not the fucking point, dude. That's not the point, because if you go and invest and put all your time and effort into making a new platform, do you not think this? I mean, look at Cloudflare. I mean, it's not just the companies themselves; it's the people. It's the server hosters. It goes so deep. It's not just Discord or Facebook or whatever. You could do your own thing, and then your ISP blocks it.
Yeah.
It's not just Silicon Valley. It's literally this cancerous growth that's everywhere. And it's like, even if you could make your own platform, that's not the fucking point. The point is that these companies are doing it for political reasons, and they won't admit. If they had all come out and said, yeah, we fucking hate Trump, we're very left-wing, and we're going to censor everything to sway the election, I would actually congratulate them and say, well done. Okay, now you've admitted it. What are we going to do about it? But they don't. They try and play it both ways, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah, well, and then what they do is they try and like allow the never Trump, conservatives who are very far and few in between anymore, but they'll promote those voices and say, oh, see, we allow conservative voices, so.
And they know damn well that they're not really conservative. They're just fucking. Oh, Charlie. Yeah, no, we're not against freedom of speech. We have Charlie Kirk. Great. Yeah. I'm a hero. Everyone on the right looks at Charlie Kirk and goes, "Keep on keeping on, man. We love Turning Point USA,
Yeah,
and Turning Point UK as well. There's a
I
faction here,
I I was going to ask that. Did they actually manage to get that off the ground and like?
It's been going for a couple of years.
Oh, what's that like? What's that like? Does
I follow them on Facebook, Turning Point UK, and they're very sort of milk toast. They'll just say things like, "Look at this hypocrisy," and it's like, yeah, anyone with a brain can see that. They won't actually say, maybe now's time to close the borders, or things that would really rock the boat. They just say things like, Jeremy Corbyn was seen at a dinner with another socialist. We knew he was a socialist. Look, guys, it's just shit. Like, but I still think that if people who are politically moderate or even left wing, if they see hypocrisy that's pointed out by Turning Point UK or whatever, and that sets them on a path, and they eventually find people like Dinesh D'Souza or Candace Owens or even Gavin McInnes, then great. But to the people that are already there, who are already pretty fucking black-pilled at this point, Turning Point UK and Turning Point USA just kind of look like the daycare of the right wing,
Well,
mom and dad are gonna pick you up at 5. Don't be too controversial.
Well, I mean, the thing with Turning Point USA, basically what I've gathered from it is TPUSA is basically just like Charlie Kirk like trying to hook up with sorority girls like unsuccessfully. Like that's all he does is go around on college campus and like try and slide in with a bunch of like college sorority sisters.
Yeah,
and
what's the other guy? His sidekick, the black guy who I don't know his name, but you see that he was in a commercial for a gay dating app, and it's like
yeah, I saw that.
Real conservative, pushing the white picket fence agenda there. It was just hilarious. I mean, nothing against gays or anything like that. Or I'm not saying that you can't have your own app, but come on, guys. You're supposed to be conservative here.
Well, at least if you want a gay conservative voice, you fucking pick Milo but
yeah, Milo pisses me off these days anyway. Gets on my nerves.
Yeah, well, I mean, I used to love Milo, but like lately he's just been, his whole shtick is I'm gay, and
That's the thing. That's what annoys me is that he's actually highly intelligent and he can put an argument together really well. I just wish he would tone it down a little bit.
Well, no.
I think it's his ego. It's his whole thing. But some
people
love it, some people hate it. And I'm not gonna lie. When I was transitioning from sort of like not really political to becoming like fucking hard red pill, he was big in the journey. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, back in 2015 when I first saw him on the Rubin Report, like he was still funny, but he was also like, he put together like really, good arguments. He was like you could take him seriously. He was still a troll, but you could take him seriously. Now his whole shtick is just like drinking like martinis or whatever on his show, and like,
and it's like, where would he be without Gavin? I don't know.
Well, he also pissed me off because like about a month after I subscribed to Censored for like the year, Milo decided it would be funny to pull that joke where.
Oh no, dude! I remember. Do you not remember we were in fucking meltdown? Meltdown mode.
I was fucking outraged because I'm like, I just fucking paid.
Yeah, a lot of people did, and he knew, Milo knew that a lot of people would be going, fuck this, I'm going to unsubscribe. And he removed or whoever he told to do it, removed, I think it was FlexScript, right? I think it was Ray, because he's in charge of the site. So Milo must have coerced him in some way. And they removed the unsubscribe button. And that's exactly what Glenn Beck did on when they turned CRTV into Blaze TV. Because I remember I went to bed one night watching Gavin or whatever, and it was CRTV. Then I woke up the next day and it was Blaze TV and Gavin was gone. And I was like, fuck this for a tale. I'm going to subscribe. And you couldn't do it. You had to email them and say, can you please not? Can you? And then a few months, this was like 2 years ago, and they gave me 2 years, or maybe a year ago, they gave me like a year free subscription as a, we're really sorry you feel this way. And then when that lapsed, they tried to charge me again. So I go on the site and my card details aren't there. They say, oh no, you've got no card linked with it. But my bank had said this company had tried to charge you $100. Mm-hmm. So I had to email them again and say, what the fuck are you doing? You're telling me that you don't have my card on file, but my bank's telling me you tried to charge me. So it's the exact scummy fucking tactics that Glenn Beck used. And it was supposed to be an April Fool's joke from Milo, but it wasn't funny.
Yeah, I mean, I still like Gavin, but as far as like the other people on the Censor Network, like the other big mistake they have is like Soph.
Yeah, she creeps me out. She creeps me out because it's hard to be morally consistent with that, because I always say keep kids the fuck away from politics. I will say Greta Thunberg, no one should listen to her because she's a child. And then my brain goes, yeah, but Soph spits some fucking truth bombs, man. She's good. Whoever writes for her, if she writes for herself, it's highly, it's deep shit.
She does have some good stuff, but also there's some stuff like I don't need a 15-year-old lecturing me on like why masturbation is bad or whatever.
So it's kind of hard to sit here and say no one should listen to Greta Thunberg because she's 15, and then go, yo, bro, did you see the new Soph video? That shit was fire, bro. You can't pick and choose, right? Just because Soph is right wing and Greta Thunberg just isn't. She's the antithesis of right wing. You can't pick and choose. Like, my stance is, I don't really want a kid telling me what's what. As talented as she is, and as people see her as like a prophetic figure, Soph, and that's the exact same problem I have with Greta Thunberg. So I'm going to be morally consistent and go, no, that's not for me.
Well, so the one thing I get, because I've been doing this podcast since I was like, I don't know, 15. So I get like a lot of, well, Sam, how can you bash, Greta or Soph when you've been doing, your pod? And I'm like, well, it was a like 2008 was a way different time period than 2020 is. Like things were way different, 10, 12 years ago even. Mm-hmm. I was doing the show like trying to reach out to other teenagers. I wasn't trying to grift to like seek the attention of like older adults at the time necessarily too. So,
and you were just doing it of your own accord. You weren't being either paid by a network like Gavin's, and B, you weren't being shuffled to the UN.
Yeah.
So there is a bit of a distinction there. You were doing it of your own accord, whether it took off or whether it didn't. There is a bit of a difference there,
Yeah.
No one was putting you on a pedestal. You were putting the work in yourself. That's the difference.
Well, even with your YouTube channel, with your channel and my channel both, I mean, yeah, we've gotten like some, shout outs from like Ryan, but like other than that,
like I said last time, or the first time I was on, it's just it's just a cathartic thing. I mean, I've not done a sit down politic rant video for ages, just because I can't figure out whether it's cathartic or whether it's not. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it just makes me feel worse. And there have been people that have said, I should just take a break from just the internet for 6 months because, I was out the other day and someone probed me. I was drinking. We were at a bonfire or whatever, a barbecue, and one of my friends brought up that White Lives Matter thing, and I had not talked about politics the whole time. I was a good boy, even though I was drunk. And he was like, "What do you think about that, Jim? What do you think about that White Lives Matter thing?" And I was just like, like it set me off. And people do that to me on purpose because they know I'm just going to be like a Gatling gun of just statistics and ruin the whole environment with my tone.
People do the same with me, and I'm always like, "Please."
Yeah.
I'm like, please don't make me. Please don't make me do
once
this.
Once you've had like 8 beers or whatever, and someone's like, that White Lives Matter thing, yeah, no, he should be in trouble for that. And I'm like, just hold on a minute. Whoa. Right? And I just get way into it. And then
I have 2 modes now. I basically have a mode where like I'm extremely calm and collected and like, like right now, like how you and I are talking. And then like if someone pisses me off now, I just go straight Alex Jones, like screaming into the mic, everything. Like those are my 2 defaults now, pretty much.
To be fair, there were a couple of people that were there because I was pretty drunk, and I was like, the girl whose house it was, I was like, hey, thanks for letting us come over, because it's been ages. Let's be real. It's been ages since a lot of people, whether it's here or in America, have been able to like see their friends. So I was like, thanks for inviting us. I had a great time. I don't really remember getting home though. I think I was pretty drunk. I remember having this, getting into this debate thing, and she went, "You know what? You actually changed my mind on a few things. I'd not heard that perspective before." And I was like, okay, it was worth it then. It was worth it. But
yeah,
I would say 8-9 times out of 10, you're not going to change anybody's mind. You're gonna put a downer on the whole thing. But to be fair, I didn't start any shit. It was someone else who specifically singled me out and said, "Hey Jim, what do you think about this White Lives Matter thing?"
Yeah,
I think he should be in trouble for flying that thing. And I was like, hold on a minute there, Chief.
I always make the disclaimer whenever I'm at like parties or something. I always do. I'm like, okay, if you want to start talking politics, like know that you're the one who started it, and you're the one who got us into this conversation. So if I end up kicking your ass, with like facts and logic, I don't want you. I don't want you standing over by the minibar like crying the last.
I think eventually it's gonna have to come down to, right, okay, if you want to talk about politics, sign this piece of paper, please, so I don't lose my job tomorrow. So people know it wasn't me that instigated this fiery feud.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna have to happen.
Yeah. Well, that and sex, unfortunately now. Of course, now, sex is non-existent because of coronavirus, but
oh no, it's not. I can assure you. I've had friends who said, "Oh yeah, I've been dating this girl," and I was like, joking, how? And he'd be like, I met her on Tinder and stuff. This was like a couple of weeks ago. Met her on Tinder and stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, so you met up?" And I was like, "How did you do that?" Because I've been sat inside like a fucking idiot for 4 months, right? Earning 80% of my pay. I've not had a haircut since I don't know when, right? Because I can't. And you're telling me you met with this girl on Tinder, and he was like, "Yeah, but we met at the park, bro." I'm like, "Okay, so why does that make a difference?" He's like, "Well, we sat on the bench. We were sat on opposite ends of the bench." And I was like, have you had sex with her? And he was like, yeah. Where's the social distancing there? So why can't I get a haircut? if bros are out here laying pipe, and BLM are allowed to protest, right, in massive numbers and pull statues down, why can't I go back to work? Why can't I get a haircut? There's something not quite right.
Well, here in the States, it's kind of fucked up because, yeah, exactly. Like Black Lives Matter is still out to protest, and yet now they're saying that we might have to shut down again. I mean,
they've second spike. You saw the statistics, right, coming out of Minnesota. Like 80% of the new cases that they've had in this recent spike are all 20 to 30-year-olds. Funny that, isn't it? Because you don't really get many 80 to 90-year-olds or 70 to 80-year-olds, etc., protesting for BLM. So
here's what's weird too, though, because I'm in Florida, and which is one of the states that supposedly has like a massive spike, and also in Texas, that's the other state that supposedly had massive spikes, and yet there were no riots here in Florida or in Texas. Like, there were peaceful protests, but no riots broke out. So my theory is that the media has just kind of made up that, corona is spiking in Florida in Texas because there aren't any riots, so there's not any dramatic news. And also the fact that we have that Texas and Florida have two of the most based governors in the entire country too. And so I mean, part of this corona thing, I'm not one of these people that denies corona exists, but it certainly is.
I know what you're going to say.
But it certainly is.
It exists, but it exists for a reason. It exists for a very specific reason, and I think we all know what the reason is.
Yeah, well, I mean, it exists, but it's also being used as a political tool. Let's not fool ourselves.
For sure. So. It's like what I said at the start. I mean, you really expect us to believe that China couldn't have contained this on their own? They chose not to. Because they wanted to see just how much they could influence the West's economy. Like I said, they won World War III without firing a single shot,
Yeah, well,
they essentially said to every world leader, I am the captain now. Like, we're in control, That's what they said.
Yeah, well,
without firing a single shot. And the fucking left-wing media, especially in America, but here as well, say, you can't call it the Chinese virus. Trump is being purposeful when he calls it the Chinese virus because he doesn't want to let people forget where this came from. And CNN and fucking MSNBC, BBC over here, all of them are doing China's bidding by saying, we shouldn't call it the Chinese virus. That's racist. What about the Spanish flu? Is that racist? No, whose payroll are you on? Where it's your
Soros
where it's your moral duty to say, you can't call it the Chinese virus because that's racist. We're going to call it COVID-19. No, it came from China. It came from China on purpose. Don't forget it. And anyone who does forget it's a fucking fool.
I think we should go to war. I think if they want war, we should start World War III. I mean, and granted,
they already want to start a war with India. That's getting spicy. But I don't want to get your channel deleted from YouTube. But I would happily blow China up. Hiroshima times a million. I don't care.
Yeah.
But Jimmy, there's innocent people. Sorry. Well, everyone that died of coronavirus were innocent. So I don't know.
Well, it's also interesting because one thing that the media never talks about is that China's been locking up. I don't know if you know this, but there's actually a Muslim.
No, it's been going on for years.
Yeah,
obviously that's morally abhorrent, but there's a nation that looks at the West and the problems the West has had with Muslim immigration and Islamic ideology and extremism. They've looked at that and they've said, that's not going to happen here. because they already have a strict ideological regime that has to revere the state above all else. If you start getting Allah in the mix, you know, they can't be dealing with that, right? So it's obviously they're now sterilizing them and stopping them from breeding, which is akin to a genocide, which is obviously morally reprehensible, regardless of who you are, whether you're Muslim or Christian or whatever. But it's just funny that if it was America doing that, or Britain or France or whoever who was doing that, and you could make the argument that you could say, well, look at all the terrorist attacks that's happened. We're going to put our foot down. When was the last time ISIS blew up something in Shanghai? It doesn't happen. But anyway, the mainstream media just want to ignore the fact that this is happening. You know, they want to call everybody else Nazis, and, you know, Gavin McInnes is too dangerous. Yet all this shit's going on in China, and they say nothing. They say absolutely nothing, and it's just so obvious.
Yeah, well, and then when Trump did speak up against the Islamic genocide and said, "Hey, you know, if you don't cut this out, the world is going to respond." Mm-hmm. Then that's when we get this bioweapon, virus, released upon the
not
public.
Saying it's not real, and it's not a real virus, but come on.
Come
on. Very conveniently timed, don't you think?
Viruses can be used as bioweapons, so.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
if anyone's gonna have the balls to release a bioweapon, it would be China, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So
it's I have to wonder if we're actually going. I'm not usually a black-pilled person. I usually try and be optimistic, but man, how much longer can they, can we sustain this? It's not looking good.
Reddit is owned by China pretty much at this point. Discord has big ties to China. Facebook, Twitter, they control the narrative.
Yeah.
And anyone that speaks out about it is removed. You know, people look at the social credit score system that they have in China and they go, that's never going to happen here. It already is, just on a less severe scale.
Yeah, at this point, they don't. At this point, I think a social credit score would kind of be useless here because it's more effective, done by Facebook and all these private companies. Say what you will, but that's pretty much what they've been doing is, and the one thing I will criticize, the Trump administration for is they keep saying, oh, we're going to be monitoring social media. We're going to be stopping censorship. And it's okay, when? So
they won't. They won't because it's too close to the election.
Yeah.
They know the power they have. They did it last time in 2016, but this time I feel like it's going to be a whole lot worse. And that should tell you that they know deep down that Trump is most likely going to win. They have to play dirty pool. They can't win on merit. They can't win based on their candidacy alone. Joe Biden, they know Joe Biden's not going to fucking win based on who Joe Biden is.
Well, somehow Joe Biden is.
I can't wait for the debates. I can't wait. But at the same time, it's going to be like watching. It's going to be like watching. Those MMA fights where a transgender, a woman becomes a man or whatever and competes in male sports and she gets the absolute shit kicked out of her. It's going to be like that. It's going to be hard to watch. It's going to be like a car crash, but you can't look away. It's going to be entertaining, but it's also going to be like, whoa, he just got destroyed. And they know that.
Well, somehow Joe Biden is ahead in the polls, and he's.
Okay, pack it up then. Let's go home, boys. Because I remember they're always right. Because 4 years ago they said Hillary was going to win, and she did. she won. She was the first female president.
No, no. Although Time magazine did come out with that cover. No, what's hilarious to me though is that Biden is somehow ahead, and he's little been sleeping through this whole thing. Literally,
he's clearly got dementia, and that's why it's kind of like, is it morally fair that they go through with the debates? Because it's going to be like heavyweight fighting a lightweight, you know.
I mean, I still think they should just for the goof. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, Trump doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to do anything. He just has to let Joe talk for a bit. You know, didn't Joe Biden say the other week that 700 million Americans now have died from COVID or something like that? And it's like, 700 million Americans? Really? 700 million Americans have died from COVID. I thought there was only 350 million Americans in existence. Oh no, but Joe Biden thinks 700 million Americans have died. What the fuck are you talking about? All he needs to do is just speak words, you know, and Trump's just going to stand there and go, okay, and then just prove him wrong.
He also made the gaffe, which actually woke a few of my black friends up, you know, to where if you vote Republican, you ain't black.
Or... You ain't that, yeah. If you vote for Trump, you ain't that black or whatever. It's like, wow, okay. Say that to every black person that's got a job, you know, since Trump boosted the economy, you know.
Well, and then someone dug up like a video of Biden from like 20 years ago or something, like talking how he didn't want his kids growing up in the urban jungle is what he.
Yeah, he said as well. Poor kids should have just as many opportunities as white kids. He said that.
Yeah, and yet, God.
This was years ago as well, and then recently he's come out with all the hairy legs shit. let alone the countless hours of footage we have of him being just a fucking pedophile sniffing kids' hair. Like, I saw a video of a rally like recently, and he was like, "How old are you?" And the girl goes, 11. And he goes, 11. Wow. Come speak to me after the thing. What? Why, Joe? Why?
Well, there's a video where there's also like a photo of him recently where he's kissing his like 17-year-old granddaughter, and like granted, it's not like a grand, like it's like full on, like, you know, on the lips, like full, and I'm like, is no one saying anything about this?
What pisses me off is that if a picture like that had surfaced, but it would have been Trump instead of Joe Biden, it could have been a tenth of what Joe Biden was doing, right? You would never, ever, ever hear the end of it. This is the thing about the left. They have no standards whatsoever. If you have the politics that they like, you can get away with fucking murder. If you don't have the politics that they like and you oppose them, right, you have to do just a tenth of what they've been getting away with before they call you out on it. It's like,
well, I mean, to your point, they tried to find a picture of Donald and his daughter Ivanka from like,
she was sat on his knee or whatever, and it was like, ew, look at him, he's a creep. And then he said something like, if she wasn't my daughter or something, you know. And they rolled with that for weeks, and it's like Joe Biden has literally sniffed every child's hair within a 600-mile radius, and yet, oh no, he's fine. No one wants to talk about that. You don't hear Don Lemon talking about that.
They rolled with that clip for weeks, and like even Howard Stern who I can't stand anymore either, is said, yeah, that was clearly a joke. So
most of what Trump said is clearly a joke, but they don't take it that way. Joe Biden, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing it is though is Joe Biden is not maybe is pay close attention to who he has as his running mate, because that's
they're gonna be the real president in 6 months. If the Democrats win and Joe Biden gets nominated, within 6 months he's going to be out there because he won't be able to deal with it. He's going to be kicked out because of his dementia or whatever. He'll have a fucking heart attack or an aneurysm or some shit. Whoever he picks as his VP will become president. That's what it's going to be like now. So,
yeah,
you're right about that.
Yeah, because everyone is laughing. Oh, Biden can't be president. He won't be. And I'm like, he's not gonna be president if he wins. It's gonna be whoever his VP is. Like,
sure. Who's it gonna be? Kamala Harris.
Well,
it's gonna be someone black. They've got to be black.
And it's probably got to be a woman. I mean, a lot of people are saying it's gonna be Kamala, and I'm like, God, I fucking hope not. But that's probably it. That probably is who it's going.
Well, I thought Kamala was going to be the nominee at one point, because I didn't think they would be that retarded to go with Joe Biden. Even Bernie would make more sense over Joe Biden.
Well, I mean, the thing with Biden is at least he's honest about what. I mean, say what you will about Bernie, but at least he's fucking honest about what he is. So
I don't even know any one of Joe Biden's policies. All he goes up and says, we need to defeat Trump because he's going to win. And how old are you? 11? Come meet me after the thing. If you're 11. Whoa, let me sniff your hair. What has he actually said? Trump came along and was like, we're going to build a wall. We're going to do this. Fuck Mexico. China's ripping us off left, right, and center. Okay, we can't be dealing with it anymore. People go, all right, I get what this guy stands for. Joe Biden is literally just a mess. He's just a torrent of, he just spews things, and it makes no sense.
He's a mess, folks. Total mess.
He's a loser. Sleepy Joe. We call him Sleepy because he's a loser. And I know losers believe it. No, he's true though. What are his policies? What are his policies? He doesn't even know. He goes to fucking whatever state,
He doesn't.
He'll go to Wisconsin for a rally, and he'll be like, "Hello, Washington." It's like, really, Joe? Really?
Yeah. He doesn't even know where he is anymore.
He doesn't know where he is.
And yet the media will spend like every 5 minutes like picking apart every Trump gaffe or what?
Oh, do you remember when CNN did that thing and they spent ages compiling every single time Donald Trump had a typo in his tweets?
Yeah.
And there was like 12 of them. And they were like, look how stupid Donald Trump is. He had 12 typos. That average is 1 a month. Whoa. And it's like, okay, but here's Joe Biden doing things that are just inexplicable. Oh yeah, but he's a Democrat. Okay, I get it now.
Well, and it's also like they're upset because like Trump uses Twitter to set policy and communicate. Like that's not official. And yet, when Obama was using Twitter, oh wow, man, this
he's down with the kids.
He's down with the kids using Twitter and shit to promote his message.
What Trump really needs to do is make a Parler account.
I
That would be huge.
yeah
Huge.
yeah. I think he might. So like,
I mean, he would have even more of a reason to do so now because he tweeted out like the other day where he was like, "No one will ever build an autonomous zone in Washington D.C. If they do, they'll be met with the law." You know, and Twitter deleted it because it was like, "Oh no, that's supporting violence or whatever." So you've got Jack Dorsey going, "President of the United States? I don't think so." How are people not fucking up in arms about that shit? If I was Donald Trump, I'd be like, okay, fuck you. I'm moving over to Parler, and so is everybody else. So is everybody else.
I think it might be. I think it might be coming. I mean, like, I'm not censored on Twitter yet, but I might as well be because no one can fucking see my tweets.
Exactly. Anyone who follows you is going to get banned.
So now all I do is I literally rank Playboy Playmates on Twitter because there's nothing else for me to do on there anymore.
I haven't been on that platform for 2 years now. I don't miss it whatsoever. It was awful. It was awful. Try and prove somebody wrong in 140 characters and watch them disagree with you. It's like, no, thanks. You can't change people's minds on that thing, and you can't do it on Facebook. You can just about do it in real life if they were willing to listen to you. But social media, nah.
I mean, that's why I like doing the podcast, to be honest, because like at least with a podcast, like it's long form,
right?
Somewhat.
So, exactly. So that's why I found making videos that I did cathartic, because you go, well, I did it. People say, well, I don't get what you mean, or like, why do you think? I go, I did a video on that. It's 10 minutes long. Watch it if you want to watch it. If you don't, I don't give a shit. But I lay everything out there and what my beliefs are with my face and my fucking name. I'm not hiding behind some 140 character bullshit.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's good in that sense.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's YouTube, so that's probably going to get shut down at some point. I mean, we're under the radar at this point. They're more concerned about like people like Gavin and, you know, I'm surprised Stephen Crowder's still allowed to be there, but he has such a good lawyer and such a big following that it would be a big. I think they know that it would be a big mistake if they did that.
Well, and I mean, there are those types out there that go, oh, well, Stephen Crowder is opposed to opposition, and so is Ben Shapiro, and you know, look, like I mean. Yeah, I mean, I get that people have problems with both Ben Shapiro and Stephen Crowder, but at the end of the day, like, I do have to with Gavin that, you know, for the most part, they're on our side. So
it's not just that they're on our side; it's that people stumble across those change my mind videos who aren't political or who are on the fence or even left wing, and they hear like a decent, honest discussion about a big topic, and he red pills a lot of people, whether you like it or not. Stephen Crowder red pills a shit ton of people, and then they go on to find other stuff like Richard Spencer, and then eventually we all don our clan hoods, and we perpetuate white supremacy, which is what we're supposed to do, right?
Yeah. So. And also,
that's the end goal, right? That's what you've got me on for, right?
And also
the white power.
And also promote misogyny too. So.
Yeah. No. Repeal the 19th. Gays have got to go.
Someone called me a misogynist the other day because, like, I was saying that I still like to watch Bond movies, and someone was like, "That's sexist because Bond girls are sexist," and it's like, okay, if you think them,
no, it's sexist because you're fat and ugly, and all the Bond girls are not, and it upsets you that men are attracted to attractive women, and you look like a cabbage. Oh, nice. I noticed as well. You've got your clan uniform back there on the door. You got it prepared.
That no,
the hood, Sam?
That's my Harvey Weinstein bathrobe, actually. So.
Who was it? Was it Governor Ralph Northam?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you borrow that from him? The notorious Democrat?
Yeah, well also I have brown makeup that I borrowed from Justin Trudeau, because I want to do brown face later. So
well, you see, I don't do brown face, I do black face, and I get it from Sarah Silverman because hers is the best. She did the best. If I can't get it from Sarah, I will go to either Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon did a pretty good one as well. They know the best places for makeup.
You know who is a fascinating case for all this is Louis C.K. Like, yeah, I know Louis C.K. is liberal, but man, he got screwed over by his own.
Yeah.
And then the way
for being weird, consensually weird.
Yeah, for being consensually weird. And then when he came back, one of his first jokes was, "Wait till they see me in blackface."
Exactly. So. Yeah. No, this is the thing. They go, "We're going to punish you, Louis, for what you did. That'll teach you." And then he loses $12 million and comes back right wing. That's what happens when you shut people down.
Yeah.
You can't shut down the Gavin McInnes Discord and expect us all to go, well, we had a good run. I guess we're going to vote for Biden now, right, guys? No, it just pushes us further to the right. That's what you're doing, is just pushing us further to the extreme. You can't shut down opinion like that. That's not how it works. They're children.
Think of it. Think about this. They managed to turn what's her face? They managed to turn Jen Jameson, the former porn star, into a hardcore right winger because she dared questions something about, is Trump really that bad of a guy? So
yeah, and I bet all the left wing people said, "Oh, what do you know? You're just a fucking porn star." I thought we were tolerant about. You can't call them porn stars. I thought they were sex workers, or this, that, and the other. They're so full of shit. They're so, like I keep saying, as long as you've got the same politics as them, they will make every excuse for you under the sun. But as soon as you're even remotely opposed to their worldview, they will throw you're an Uncle Tom, you're a coon, you're this, that, and the other. It's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. And people need to see it for what it is.
Absolutely.
If it was Trump sniffing children like Biden does all the time, and they had hours of footage of Trump just going around, trying to kiss 11-year-old girls, it would be on CNN would make a new channel for it, and it would just be on repeat 24/7. But when Joe Biden does it, they will make excuses for it. It's like, what?
Well, and they ignore the fact that Jeffrey Epstein was friends with the Clintons and all that, but
all right, your YouTube channel is definitely getting shut down now, bro.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm roughly at 700 subscribers, give or take, and the video won't even show up in the feed anymore unless I put it in the in my Discord server, which I'm also surprised my
the GMD is gone forever. There's no second iteration of it whatsoever.
No,
I do not want to be seen as circumventing the ban. I respect the Discord overlords, and there is definitely not another GMD currently active right now. Sorry, yeah.
No, Jimmy, I wasn't talking about a non-existent second one. I was talking about
non-existent.
I was talking about the Whitfield report Discord, which is.
Oh yes. Of course.
which is I'm surprised I haven't got. I'm surprised honestly I didn't get shit canned. I'm serious because like I was a pretty active member in the Gavin McGinnis Discord um and also like I've got my uh Discord which can get spicy sometimes, and by spicy I mean we literally trade hot sauce recipes sometimes.
Ooh.
So
Tell you what, you only get banned when you enforce Discord's TOS.
so just keep posting NSFW pictures. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Say the N word.
so Nagger.
Yes, that one. Yeah.
So
Jogger.
yeah.
Wars.
Jogger Wars. So
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I mean I think this whole it's ironic that a Discord that was named after censored TV got censored. So
Yeah. Well, it's ironic that the mods of censored TV Discord would censor our freedom of speech. Maybe, yeah. Sorry that we don't want to hear you say nigger and kike every 5 seconds. And guess where it got us? We don't exist anymore. We don't exist anymore. Hope it was worth it, guys.
Well, I'm sorry also that you guys had to keep asking the dumb question of was it really 6 million? And it's like that's kind of besides the point. The point is that there was a fucking Holocaust. So
yeah, I mean, the arguments about we're opening a rabbit hole here. Jesus Christ, did not expect to get onto this topic, but I don't see that debate and go, oh my God, this needs to be shut down. I'm like, okay. Let's see what this guy has to say, But again, we're on Discord. It's a left-wing platform. You try and even remotely get away with opening that line of questioning on Facebook or Twitter, you will be banned, and you will expect to be banned. Oh, but when it's a mod from Discord that does it, oh no, my freedom of speech is being suppressed. You're on Discord, you dumb fuck.
Well, and on Facebook it's a lot worse. Like if you mention even Alex Jones's fucking name on Facebook, like it will like not allow you to post, which is in their words problematic because I know I have a couple friends whose name is literally Alex Jones. So I can't even like tag them and anything.
I mean, I was talking to my dad the other day after the Discord got shut down, and I was like, "Go do me a favor, go to Facebook Messenger and try and send me censored.tv, the link." And he was like, "Where do I get the link from?" And I was like, "No, just type in censored.tv and hit send, and it comes up. Oh, a message failed to send, and you go on more information, and it's like, oh, we've decided that this is too dangerous, or this is violence, or this is whatever. And it's like, it's funny because it's literally called censored.tv, and it's like the mods got accused of being that censorious against people that wanted to say kike all day. And it's like, you don't understand. We're not the arbiters of the platform. If Dinesh D'Souza owned Discord, I wouldn't have a problem with you talking about 6 million versus whatever, right? But he doesn't. It's run by people who think they're a woman.
Well, if
actually called Keith.
Well, if Dinesh ran Discord, we would all be.
It would be called Dodecord.
Yeah, it would be it would be called Dodecord. So,
that's what we need. We need Dodecord.
So
it's the future.
Dinesh is definitely smart enough that he could probably like come up with one. So
well, if he does, I'll be first in line for Dodecord.
Someone also needs to, reinstate his voting rights too.
Mm.
So
Wait, he's not allowed to vote?
he got arrested for like quote unquote election fraud back in like 2012. So technically, he can't. I mean, that was the Clintons fucking him over, like the Clintons and Obama, because
If if that was Trump and Dinesh was white, oh sorry, yeah, if it was Trump and Dinesh was left wing, again, CNN would never hear, you wouldn't hear the end of it from the likes of CNN. But
right,
because it was their guys that pulled the trigger and Dinesh is right wing, then fuck him. His skin color all of a sudden doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He's just an Uncle Tom or an Uncle. What's an Indian name? I don't know.
uh, uh,
An Uncle
I,
Sanjay.
yeah, I'm like, this is really bad because I have Indian neighbors too, and I should be able to like pick a few names out of the hat, but I can't. So, um,
I guess you're just a racist.
dude, my Indian neighbors are a bit racist too. I
Oh, they
probably.
are. Yeah. Oh, sorry, not all of them. Sorry, not all of them. But you try and find a brown person in Britain that likes BLM or blacks. I'll give you a sizable amount of my next paycheck if you can find.
One of them owns like a liquor store like near my house, and I went in there to buy some beer the other day, and I hear him go something like like good God, man, why do all these black, why do all these black guys keep coming in here? So, and I'm like, because they like beer like the rest of us. So
Again, again, if it was a white shop owner or a white person that had said that, MSNBC would just jizz everywhere. Look at this white supremacist. But because he's Indian or whatever, he's brown, it doesn't quite match.
yeah, but well, I'm not gonna say anything about I'm not gonna say anything more about him because then he might not be so protected after all. But
But
um,
no, I feel like the agenda is pretty much set at this point. It's if you white and you say it, then it matters. Which is kind of a white supremacist mind view or worldview, mindset, point of
yeah,
view, if you think about it.
no, that is true.
Your opinion, whether it be good or wrong, only really matters if you're white. So if you say something racist and you're white, then it's news. If you say something racist and you're black, then it's all brown. It's not really news, you know.
Yeah, no,
So,
absolutely.
mm.
Um, so I know that you said you were good for an hour and then you had to.
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go play some Call of Duty with my girlfriend, otherwise she's gonna get upset.
Does oh so Call of Duty is a thing in Britain too, man.
Yeah, we just got the internet, I think, in Britain about 2 weeks ago. So there's this new thing called Call of Duty, and it's kind of difficult though because what you got to do is you got to use the phone and you got to dial up to the internet connection.
I'm
But it's really cool. All the guns are blurred out and the violence because obviously we can't be having that.
I'm just giving you shit. Are the accents like different though in the COD? Oh,
No, it's the same game.
wow. So
It's like saying
well, no. The reason I ask is because back when like we were kids, they used to have like different versions for like different
yeah,
regions.
in I think in Germany they're all heavily censored because they're still ashamed of the whole World War II thing. But no, here it's the same game. It's
No.
like saying, in our version of the movie Titanic, it doesn't really sink because it was made in Britain, and we don't want to remember the fact that we made something that sank. But in American theaters, oh no, that shit went down, But here, it goes all the way to its destination, and everyone gets off safe and happy, and it's a happy ending. Yeah.
Well,
That's the stupidest question you've ever asked. Is it the same game?
yeah, one. I've asked some pretty stupid questions on this show before.
That's got to be up there. That's certainly the stupidest question you've ever asked me.
That one was actually intentionally stupid. So.
You said no. The question was, do they have different accents? The main character of Modern Warfare, going back to the first one in like 2007, is a Scottish guy, and he still is the main character. It's always been that guy. Call of Duty is getting weird though too, because I play Call of Duty Mobile, and they're like even starting to get cringe with this was one thing I wanted to ask you. Have you noticed on COD that your loading screens have changed? Yeah, a few weeks ago. Yeah, it was
yep.
BLM before every match.
Yep.
Now it's not that anymore, so I guess it doesn't matter. So.
Yeah, they changed the fucking Reddit icon from
the Reddit icon's still black, but Call of Duty seems to have backed off from that. That's the thing. They have to pretend to care for a certain. It's like Pride Month. Oh, we have to just change the fucking thing for a month, like banks.
Yeah.
You're a bank. What are you doing? Supporting Pride? No one gives a fuck. What are you gonna waive all the debt from that gay people owe you? Are you gonna slash interest rates for gays? No, you're not, because you don't give a shit about gays or blacks. You just want to appear to give a shit. I buy a video game. I don't want to be pounded with fucking leftist rhetoric.
No.
Most people that play video games, I don't think give a fuck anyway. They're playing video games to escape the hellish reality.
Most people who play video games now are getting like super red/black pilled because
exactly because it's having the opposite effect. It's having the opposite effect because people will tell them, "Oh, this BLM shit's bullshit. It's everywhere," and they go, "No, I don't think. I think they've got a good point." And then they log into COD when they get home from school or work or whatever, and it's in their face again. But this time, it's not on a billboard; it's on their own fucking TV screen, and they're like, maybe that guy had a point. It is everywhere all the time. I can't even relax and have fun and forget about politics without it being thrown in my face by a product that I paid for with my own fucking money, and now they're telling me how to think. So I think it has the opposite desired effect.
Well, like I said, the fact that they're arguing whether or not Bond, whether James Bond is, suitable for like 2020 audiences, it's like, fuck off. So.
Yeah, well, Little Britain's gone, Fawlty Towers is gone, a bunch of comedy shows, because we can't. Don't you know that?
Fuck.
The general public can't. We're not intelligent enough to decipher what is and isn't funny, what is and isn't satire. They have to decide that for us because, I might watch an episode of Little Britain and see them doing blackface or whatever, and that might just push me over the edge. It might just push me over. I might just go out and slaughter a bunch of black people because I saw an episode of a comedy program, So they've done the right thing there by taking that away, because that, it's dangerous stuff. Dangerous stuff. In fact, burn books while you're at it. Just burn all those books. The Nazis did that back in the day in the Soviets, but that wasn't real communism.
They might as well also get rid of every great British rock rock band out there.
Here's an idea. To fight racism, we should get rid of every single piece of symbolism of black people in the culture. So, for instance, the bitch on the syrup bowl and Jemima.
Yeah. Right? I love how you opened that, though. The bitch on the syrup bottle.
Hear me out, right?
Yeah.
She's black. Okay. America is so racist that, unbeknownst to the average American, they've been purchasing this syrup with this black woman's face on it for decades and decades. I think she's been knocking around on that thing for at least 100 years.
Yeah.
That's racist. To fight racism, we need to remove black people from products. I'm onto something here, right? Uncle Ben's, the rice guy. It's racist to have a black person on rice.
Well, in order to fight racism, we need to
get rid of blacks from the culture.
Yeah, in order to fight racism, we need to hide black YouTubers on YouTube as well, because there are certain black YouTubers who are more successful than other black YouTubers.
They said that they got rid of Aunt Jemima because she was a slave. It's like, yeah, she was a slave, and then she wasn't a slave, and then she made a shit ton of money and became a national icon. That's the kind of thing you want to promote, not get rid of, you stupid fucking idiots. Do you know if the KKK were in control, or like an actual racist was in control, do you know the first thing he'd get rid of is Aunt Jemima? And it'd be instead of Aunt Jemima, it'd be Aunt Janine, or it would be Uncle Jeremy, or whatever. It would be a white person. They would get rid of Uncle Ben's, and it would be Uncle Eugene or whatever. That's what they would do. They would get rid of all the black symbology. But BLM go, no, we can't. What is going on? What are you doing? And fucking the guy that has voiced Cleveland Brown on Family Guy for 20 years has gone, oh no, I'm going to step away from the role. As if Family Guy wasn't already fucking bleeding anyway. But he's going to step away from the role after 20 years to give it to a person of color. And The Simpsons has come out saying that only people of color can voice people of color. And it's like, A, you're completely missing the point of what acting is and voice acting is. And B, there's a new BBC drama coming out about King fucking Arthur, and he's a black guy. So it's okay to change white history and give it to blacks.
Did they at least cast Idris Elba as King Arthur?
No,
Then I'm not fucking interested. Sorry.
So it's okay. It's okay to cast the King Arthur as a black guy. That's woke and progressive. But if you're a white person that's voicing a black cartoon, there's not even a real character. It's not even based in any facet of fiction whatsoever. Then you've got to stop.
Yeah, which I mean, Seth MacFarlane is actually pretty based though, so I don't know how.
I mean, what are you going to do? Force the guy to stay? Family Guy's on its ass anyway. Yeah, I'm sure he's.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, I'm surprised that Family Guy has made it this long, to be honest.
Exactly.
So.
Like, I'm surprised that CNN hasn't compiled a 2.5 hour fucking everything that Family Guy's done wrong. That's why it's funny.
Well,
like in 10 years, I think Family Guy you won't even be able to find it. Like, look at Little Britain and 40 Towers. Like, in 10 years' time, they'll go, well, people can't watch Family Guy because they can't be trusted to know whether it's supposed to be funny or serious or not.
That's the way comedy is going, just in general.
You can't buy that syrup because you can't be trusted to know what Aunt Jemima is or whether she was a slave or not. And it's like, I don't get it. Do you guys have Cocoa Pops over there? The cereal? Have you heard about this?
Oh yeah, we do.
Right. So it's a Kellogg's brand of cereal, right? The
Yeah,
mascot for Cocoa Pops is the monkey, right?
yeah,
On the box, it's monkey with a big spoon, and he's eating the cereal.
yeah.
People have said to Kellogg's that you need to get rid of that because it's racist, because it's a monkey. And you go, ever since I was a kid, I've been enjoying Cocoa Pops. I've never once looked at that box and thought, "Wow, yeah, that's a black person. Yeah, that's a monkey. That's a Negro. Yeah, I get where Kellogg's is based. I get where Kellogg's was going with that thing. No, it's always the left wing people that look at monkeys and say, "Oh no, you can't have that because it's racist." If you look at a cartoon monkey on a cereal box and you jump to the conclusion that it's racist because black people, then what you're saying is black people look like monkeys. Therefore, you're the fucking real racist. Because I've never once looked at that cereal box and thought, black people. No, I just thought that's a cartoon monkey on a cereal box. You're the real racist, and you don't know how to deal with it. That's why you want to get rid of everything, because you can't handle it.
Well,
that's the real racists.
Well, it's like NBC took down a couple episodes of 30 Rock or whatever because they had blackface in it, but they were all episodes that made fun of blackface. It's like
exactly that's what Little Britain was. There was a skit in Little Britain where it would be like a town hall meeting, and this old woman would go up to another old woman, and she'd hand her like a pie or something, and the old woman would go, "Oh wow, this is a wonderful pie. Who made this?" And she'd say, "Oh, Anne or whoever," and she'd be like, "Anne." And the other person would go, "Yeah, she's married to the black man," and then she would just vomit everywhere because she ate a pie that was made by someone who was married to a black person, and it would just be just this endless stream of vomit. And that is clever because it's taking the piss out of racist people who think like that, who want to throw up a pie because it was made in the same house as a black person. That was funny. That was funny, but these leftists take it seriously. It's like,
yeah, no, dude.
I killed it because I forgot the names and the way it was spoken, but it's literally that's the premise. It's like you're given a product or you're given like a pie or whatever, and you're this is great. Where's this from? Oh, it was made by such and such a person who's married to the black guy, and she'd be like. And she just vomit everywhere because she can't deal with the fact that it was made. Like, that's how ridiculous it is. That's why it's funny. Can you imagine being that racist that you can't even eat something that was made remotely near a black person? That's why it's funny. But the left go, no, that's not funny. That's really racist.
Yeah, I can't even imagine being that triggered, to be honest.
But back then, everyone found it funny. Black people found it funny. Everyone found it funny because everyone knew that it was supposed to be satirical.
Yeah. It's insane, but
it's beyond sterilization at this point. It's just
yeah. But Adam, Jimmy, thanks for coming on. And I mean, where like I said, where can we find you?
Nowhere. Underground forever in a bunker.
Nowhere except for Parler, right?
Yeah, and YouTube, I guess.
So Hodjum on Parler, and
same.
on YouTube. So. Anyway, man, thanks for coming on, and folks, thanks for watching this, episode of the WuFlu Report, and I'll be back on Thursday, so I will talk to you then, and God bless, and God save this great nation, and also God save the Queen.
Indeed.
I guess. So.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see.
Hey there, folks. If you've made it this far to the end of the podcast, I'd like to thank you very much for listening to the show. You are the ones that make it possible for me to make an income from podcasting, and I greatly appreciate that just by listening to our show. You are helping us gain ad revenue. However, if you would really like to help support the show, I encourage you to please donate to the podcast and become a supporter of the show. You can head over to anchor.fm/Whitfield Report and click the support this podcast button and choose the amount that suits you to support the show. Or you can click the link in the show notes and it will directly take you to that page. If you can support the podcast, I really, really appreciate that. Anything that you can do to help out is greatly appreciated. Even if you can't afford to help financially support the podcast, I encourage you to please go on iTunes or Apple Podcasts or Stitcher and please leave this podcast a positive 5-star review. That really helps us out here at the Whitfield Report. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next episode.